A dubious distinction to report tonight on New Jersey's jobs front. The ranks of the Garden State's unemployed have grown to their highest level in more than 3 decades. The jobless rate in August climbed 0.4 of a point to reach 9.7%. New Jersey now matches the national average. And State House correspondent Zachary Fink is here now with more on New Jersey's jobs picture. And Zach, these numbers are getting closer and closer to double-digit unemployment.
Well, they certainly are, Jim. And no matter how the Corzine administration tries to point out the positive news about these numbers, independent analysts say the situation is still bleak. The bottom line is that New Jersey has continued to lose jobs, and the economy has fast become a cornerstone issue in this year's gubernatorial race. This afternoon, Corzine administration officials hosted a media tour of Black Bear Distribution's headquarters. The idea was to highlight the company, which recently created 90 new private sector jobs. It's part of the Corzine administration's narrative about what the latest unemployment figures mean. They say despite 9.7% unemployment, there is also some good news.
Well, actually, we're ahead of the national trend. We have a 4-month encouraging trend in employment in New Jersey, in the private sector.
Republican gubernatorial candidate Chris Christie had no public schedule, but issued a statement saying, quote, "Today's unemployment numbers prove Governor Corzine has failed our state in exactly the area we were told to trust him the most. His unsustainably high taxes, increased debt, and irresponsible spending have driven jobs out of New Jersey, forcing record numbers of people out of work."
While we would like to see the rate going down, we live in a national economy where we're seeing the pull of the economic job growth or the employment numbers go up. And we, like almost every other state, can't swim against that tide.
New Jersey's unemployment rate is higher than neighboring states such as Pennsylvania, Delaware, Connecticut, and New York. We asked Governor Corzine why that is yesterday, and he said a better basis of comparison is New York City, which has a higher unemployment rate than the state of New Jersey.
Well, state-to-state basis is always tricky because the states do differ significantly. New York City looks like New Jersey in many ways. The rest of New York State doesn't. Pennsylvania, the southeastern part, looks like New Jersey. The rest of the state doesn't in terms of their employment profile. But I think the best comparison probably is on a state-by-state basis.
According to Seneca, another good way to measure New Jersey's economy is to compare how it has fared in the recent recession. Using year-to-date numbers, in December of 2008, the U.S. unemployment rate was 7.2%, and New Jersey's was 6.8%. Now, both show 9.7%, but that means that the national average actually fared better, going up 2.5% versus New Jersey, which went up 2.9%.
You know, actually, that's true. Because of public sector employment, New Jersey has been losing public sector employment, whereas actually the nation as a whole has been gaining public sector employment, almost all of it in Maryland, Virginia, and the District of Columbia, as there's been 2 wars, there's been stimulus plans.
Although the Corzine administration points to an upward trend of private sector growth, New Jersey still lost 34,000 jobs last month. Economists say the unemployment figure is a, quote, lagging indicator, meaning it won't show improvement until long after the economy has recovered.
Well, the unemployment rate, paradoxically, in fact, goes up at the end of recessions as more employees start flooding back into the labor market, looking for work. The unemployment rate leaves out all kinds of people who say they're not even looking. Even
though it's a lagging indicator of the economy, is a very, very powerful indicator of how people feel and consumer confidence and an overall assessment of what the economy means to the individual household.
In a survey of its members, the State Chamber of Commerce found that although there is confidence about the future, New Jersey is unlikely to see a surge in new hiring anytime soon.
Yeah, we've seen in this, again, the survey just went out this morning, but the response has been very active. More than half of them have been doing freezes of salaries. Some have been, about half have been doing layoffs.
And a number of competing statements were issued today by Republicans and Democrats. For example, Republican Assembly Minority Leader Alex DeCroce said, quote, "When the governor says facts are stubborn, he's right. Going from a 9.3% rate in July to 9.7% in August said things are not improving. In fact, they're getting worse because of the governor's unwillingness to reduce spending and lower taxes. It is a recipe for disaster, and now New Jersey has the same unemployment rate as the national average." The Corzine campaign issued a statement saying, quote, "Chris Christie is wrong when it matters most. His economic program would drive up property taxes all across New Jersey. He wants more tax breaks for big corporations and the very wealthy, which slashes the exact revenue the state spends on property tax relief. And Jim, as you mentioned, New Jersey is on the verge of double-digit employment. The last time that happened was in January 1977, when the rate reached 10.6%.
All right. Thank you, Zach. Appreciate that.